downstairs and the house upstairs was not finished first. He's worked on it all year. He's putting in baseboard with yesterday, so it'll be presumably a partial again, April 1st this year and then finished next year. But would recommend 60% on that building. And then there was a couple others that he's got a building for his animals way out back that looks like a shed, but on the backside it's wide open. And his boiler room, I had a story and a half. It's really one story. So if we correct those, it would be 878.80 or 52,000 off.
52,000 off the valuation and 878 of the taxes.
Have you had a chance to talk to him about that?
I have not
Okay,
given him the numbers. I
Yeah.
thought he was gonna be here.
fair enough.
He may. But I'll certainly send it to him.
He's got a lot of little buildings around there, doesn't he?
He does, and he, he moved here, he got a mill, he does all of it himself. And I think Bo Yerkson was there just before I arrived and said, you really can't go on what you do yourself because they assess it based on what it would sell for or what you'd pay a carpenter.
Yeah.
So that he was like, what do you mean?
Well, he saved a lot in labor.
The only other one, I do have 10,000 on the barn that he hopes to save, and
Have you seen it recently?
it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Pictures there. But, I mean, big old frame barn that someday will be something. Hopefully.
So the motion would be to reduce the valuation by $52,000 and come up with a tax of $878.80. That would be my motion.
Tax abatement of 870.
Yeah.
80.
The abatement of
Yeah,
that.
I'll second that.
Yeah, thank you.
Further discussion? All in favor?
So up on Beach Ridge was a shed, 10 by 16, nice shed moved in. Tried to get Abden to pay. He said it wasn't his, it was Dwight Jones. And Dwight has left town with his shed, so would like to get that off the books. I don't know where he is.
So the shed is no longer
No
physically
longer
there.
It moved down the road, moved in without a permit and left without.
I'll take a motion.
I'll make the motion to abate it 6760 on the tax.
Second.
All in favor?
Next up is Georges Rivers Land Trust. Susan Morris bought 2 pieces from Bucktail on the subdivision lot 7, and before they even got it subdivided, wanted to preserve the fields up there on the old Augusta Road. So she has deeded it over to them, and they are applying for exemption as a land trust.
And the numbers that are in that column, those are the valuations?
Those are the new valuations that the brand new ones.
Okay.
Last year it was 44,000 on the first one. The tax was 743.60. The one that says 18 was at 13,000. It was at $219.70. So the total paid last year was 963.30.
And what will the new one be?
If it's exempt, it gets zero.
020.
Midcoast pays a 5% on value. I don't know if George River Trust.
How do we go about asking them to,
We could certainly send a letter saying
I mean, it
Every
doesn't
bit
amount
helps.
to $50, but still.
4816.
Yeah,
It is something.
Yep.
And generally, if the land trust property was under open space, you can get 95% off. So I think that's where they get their 5% that they pay in lieu of. they could go in under open space and only pay 5%. Or tree growth values, whichever is less, there's a little quirk in there.
There's lots next to this, right? That's that the developer still owns.
There's
Three lots next to
Bogues
it.
have already developed. On one side, there's a Bogues
I never
on
did.
Filer's Corner, and yes, on the Chapel, there are
Yeah.
6 lots
Yep,
that the Bogues bought, 4 of them, I think, and they've developed theirs already, and then others. Yeah. Yeah, that guy paid, say, 200,000, and he's got about 800,000 out of it already between all the buyers.
Wow.
Susan paid it more than he paid for the whole piece, just to protect.
That was a big controversy during the planning board, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
I remember
I was there for
watching
some of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
A land flipper, that's how I described him. This is one of those cases where we really don't have a, recourse. so we'll take a pro forma vote, I guess. I'll accept a motion.
Is this the only piece of property under that trust in Waldeboro?
It is,
I've never heard of it being over this way.
yeah. And
I'm assuming it's for the
it's
George-
part of that watershed.
The watershed for
Probably
George River.
within
the Georges
that-
River watershed,
Yeah.
so that's why they took it.
That's part of George's River.
I actually was just talking with their land trust person just today, actually, because of all this. They want to do a little bit more work with the Conservation Commission, and I said, is this your first one? They said, yeah, because the St. George's
Must be on the edge.
watershed actually just touches that northern part. They really don't deal with the southern
Must be
areas.
on the edge of it, yeah.
It's interesting.
I'll make that motion. No one else did. And we're gonna send a letter.
Yes,
Asking for
yes.
In lieu of.
a second.
All in favor?
And so like the one that's under, it says 18 here, that's the big field under farmland rates. Well, now it's exempt. I will send it with its full value. So if they would pay 5%, we get a little more than 50 bucks. But we'll see how it goes, let you know. The next one is the farmland down on Gross Neck. Sarah and 10 acres.
They've proven they've sold some stuff. I mean, they've sold a pig and a couple of pigs, I guess. Yeah, so they're in business. I guess that qualifies it.
It does.
Yeah.
And she signed up for the Forever Farm, which is a different program. Forever Farm signed there.
The minimum 10 acres to be.
No, minimum 5 acres will do a farm. 10 acres is tree growth.
Tree growth, yes.
Oh, I thought a farm was.
And the interesting thing is you have 5 acres, but you only have to farm a quarter acre if you can
Prove
get a 2,000 crop. Which is
We should need some chickens.
Yeah, it's magged right now.
honey is a big one now. You have a hive that does well.
So we need to vote to approve the application for farmland classification. That's what we're doing.
Correct.
Yeah, I'd make the motion.
As chair, can I second it? I'll second it. Any more discussion?
Is this on the river?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's no-
On the back, on the bug tussle area, that back part?
On the mud.
Yeah. Jordan, Devin, okay. Yeah.
All in favor?
and then executive session.
You mind just repeating the vote for the first one since we weren't live streaming for that one?
It's 4-0.
For George Parker. was it?
Yes,
Oh, the first one.
Yeah, George.
They were all 4-0.
And I think you mentioned during our discussion that he did pay the tax.
he has, yeah, he's
And will
cleared.
be on the hook next year, not after.
And I guess we need a motion to go into executive session. Is that correct?
I'll make that motion.
No, second.
As assessors. Yeah,
Actually select poverty abatements, I believe.
okay, so then you should do all your sites.
Okay, so we'll go into executive, I make the motion, we go into executive session for RFA 4056A, discuss personnel matter. Did that cover that one?
No,
No,
I think
but-
it's 64056.
Confidential records.
Yeah.
See, I think, yeah,
4056C for confidential records and
Six
the
F.
6F for the Philbrook Fund discussion.
Yeah, we don't need the other one.
All in favor?